Hello, thanks for being here. I'm Becky, this is Springing Art, and this is my inspiration photo for the July challenge for Nate's Art Lab. Nate has challenged us to find a picture from a vacation and use it as an inspiration for a painting for this month. So that was a painting of Yosemite National Park in August, and there was snow in the mountains and beautiful wildflowers in the field. My first step was to create the sky, and I started with a flip cup. However, I just wasn't happy with it. I finally realized that was because I had clouds, white paint in the flip cup, but there were no clouds in the sky of my inspiration photo. So I decided just to do an ombre type of painting here. So at the very top of the screen, you can see I have three colors out. One of them, I believe, is DecoArts Metallic Sapphire. The second one is a teal. If I can find the color, I'll put it in the description. And the third one is the same sapphire with a lot of white added to it. So I am just going through here. I'm not real good at doing ombre, but I actually was pleased with the way this turned out. You see there in the photo I have a wide brush, which I was going to use to try and improve the ombre, but didn't even need to use it. It just kind of worked out okay. My next step will be to create the mountains. And to do this, I decided to do some prints on my gelli plate. And I used black, cream, brown, and a little bit of gray to do that. Oh yes, there's some green in there also because there were some evergreen trees in the picture. I'm starting to tear my papers now, my prints, and you have to be careful how you tear the paper. One way you tear it and you get the color edge of the print, the other edge you get the white of the paper. I didn't really want white in most places because I wanted my mountains to be dark colored, so I just need to be careful on how that's torn. I thought I had gotten rid of this little foggy part, not sure why my camera wasn't focusing there, but at any rate, I'm using my inspiration picture there pretty carefully. I've drawn onto the painting my a sketch of the shape of the mountains that I'm kind of looking for, and I'll try to fit this onto the sketch. Turns out that of course that never works, and I ended up having to erase my lines, but that's okay. Part of the process. And this is the first time that I've tried to actually create a picture out of my collage. Typically it's just abstract, rip and tear and put things where you think they kind of look pretty, but not really intending them to be anything. So this was quite a process. I really followed my inspiration picture carefully. Tell everybody I'm not an artist. I see black when I close my eyes, and trying to figure out where shading is and where highlighting is really a challenge for me. So I use the picture to figure that out. And you'll see here that I start using different colors of papers to put highlights in and shadows in and get some depth to this. But I think it's the process is pretty obvious. After I get a couple of pieces ripped and torn and placed, then I'll start gluing them on. And that's a simple procedure. We use gel gloss of any kind and paint the back of the paper with the gel gloss, put it down, and then paint over the top of the paper with the gel gloss. You see I'm getting ready to use the gel gloss here. Obviously this is a long process. It took me about an hour and a half to do this. So I have deleted a good bit of it. I apologize, a lot of the painting is out of the picture of the out of the camera's range. I'm not sure whether the camera moved or whether I moved, but at any rate, I've deleted some of the parts that you couldn't see anyway, and for speed's sake, I've also deleted several other parts, but you'll be able to see what happened at the end. And we've sped this up to 4x speed in most parts to make the hour and a half a little bit more tolerable. I think you'd be pretty bored if you had to watch all of that in real speed. Here we're just gluing that down. And this is where I'm looking at the highlighting. I've got a different color print here, and I'll be using that for my highlights. So I'm going to let you watch the rest of the procedure, and I'll let you listen to the music a little bit longer, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, this is some white paper that I painted with, I think, some silver and some metallic white. That's going to be my snow, so I'm going to start placing my snow at this point. We've skipped way along here, and you'll see that I'm putting some green in for the evergreen trees, adding a little bit more snow here and there. And this is the final picture of my mountains. If you look at my inspiration picture, you'll notice that I have way more mountains here than in the picture, so I will be covering some of that up, and I'll talk about the problems that causes. These are my colors. I'm going to have them listed in the description box. Basically, these are going to be for my flowers. We have Liquitex Cadmium Yellow Light Hue, Artist Loft Brilliant Red, Arteza Pearl Pistachio Green, Artist Loft Metallic Leaf Green, and Golden Sap Green hues. That's for some of the plants. The other two greens are more for background. The Artist Loft, the blue color is a mixture of Artist Loft Professional Ultramarine Blue and Charvin Ocean Blue, and Liquitex White, Liquitex Basics in White. Here I decided to do just a plain ordinary swipe. Boy, I tried multiple things here. I tried to do a fancy kind of swipe that I won't even go into here. I tried doing chameleon cells, which wouldn't work for me at all. I guess that's one of those use it or lose it skills, and I lost it. So we just decided to go with a plain old swipe and putting the colors of the flowers in. The thing that I considered the whole time I was painting this was whether I was going to use white for my swipe color for the snow, or whether I was going to use green for the swipe color because of the grass and all the background. And since there was really no snow in the meadow, I decided to go with the green, but put some white in for the flowers, and as it turned out, it kind of made it look like the top of the meadow had a little bit of snow in it, so that was kind of okay too. I did decide to go with the green, and I added a couple of drops of Spot On treadmill oil, silicone oil, to that green. I'll be putting that down. I think here it is right now. And then I'm going to be using a paper towel that's been dampened at the end of it as my swipe. This is done in real speed. Most of the rest of it has been in 4x. At this point I'm thinking, well, this might have been a mistake, but eventually the cells do start popping through. I did use a torch to help encourage that a little bit. You'll see that coming up here. I should have gone back and re-swiped my edges. They are not perfect in the final picture. Here's the torch. This is my final wet result coming up here. And while I've got a few seconds, I wanted to thank Nate for the challenges that he gives us. My paintings aren't always paintings that I like, or paintings that are even very good. But for me, the point of a challenge is to push myself and to do things that I don't normally do. And you know, the first time we do something, it's either perfect or it's really not the best. Mine are usually not the best. But I've pushed myself and I've learned. So here's my final results. You can see my inspiration picture on the left and the final dry result on the right. So I'm very happy with the results we got here. I love the collage work. The mountains against the sky are really pretty, and I think that the field of flowers turned out really nicely too. So thanks for being here, and join the rest of the crew on this train.